Your soulmate is about to do something you never expected. My beloved child, stop. Take a breath. Something unseen has been moving toward you, quietly, patiently, in perfect alignment with divine timing. You didn't stumble upon this message by accident. This moment was hidden in your path long before you were aware you were searching. The universe is leaning in, and it wants your attention now. There is a revelation opening, a veil lifting, as if the unseen realms have decided this is the exact second you are ready to remember what your soul already knows. You may have felt it recently, a subtle pull, a pause in your heart, a feeling that something important is about to change. That feeling is not imagination. It is guidance. Listen closely, because this message is personal. It carries your name in energy, not ink. The divine is whispering, not shouting, because truth arrives softly when it is meant to last. What you are about to hear may surprise you, but it will also feel familiar, like a memory returning. Here is the hidden truth being revealed now. Your soulmate is about to do something you never expected. This is not about drama or chaos. This is about awakening. A shift in awareness. A choice made from a deeper place. While you've been growing, healing, questioning, and learning to trust yourself again, another soul connected to yours has been reaching a quiet realization. The universe has been arranging conversations, delays, and synchronicities so that free will and destiny can meet without force. You may have wondered if you were forgotten, overlooked, or meant to walk alone longer than you hoped. But divine timing is not delay, it is protection. What is unfolding now is happening because you are finally ready to receive it without losing yourself. That matters more than you know. There is something sacred about the way this connection is approaching. It does not rush. It honors your boundaries, your growth, your light. And the universe wants you to know that what is coming is aligned with your highest good, not just your deepest desire. That is why it feels calm beneath the curiosity, steady beneath the emotion. If your heart has been heavy, let this be clarity. If your mind has been restless, let this be peace. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where the divine intended you to be when this message reached you. Trust what resonates. Release what no longer fits. Something meaningful is unfolding now, and it is guided by love, truth, and purpose. Stay with this message until the end, because what follows may confirm what your soul has been sensing all along. If this touched you, like the video, share it with someone who needs reassurance, and subscribe to the channel for more divine messages meant just for you. Watch the complete video, and allow the universe to continue the conversation it started with you today. Did you know there's a possible image of your real soulmate that you can look at right now? It might be someone you know or someone you haven't met yet. It's amazing how accurate these have been. You have to see the photo to see what I mean. Click the link in the description to get your soulmate sketch. Listen closely, beloved one, for I am speaking to you now, not through thunder or flame, but through the quiet place in your heart where truth has always lived. You did not arrive at this message by accident. You were drawn here by a gentle pull, a sacred alignment that has been unfolding far longer than you realize. Before you were aware of longing, before you learned the language of hope, I was already arranging moments, lessons, delays, and awakenings. And now you stand at the edge of a revelation. Your soulmate is about to do something you never expected, not because they wish to surprise you, but because the path I am guiding them upon requires courage, surrender, and transformation. I see what you have been carrying. I know the questions you have whispered into the night, the silent wondering, the ache that comes when time stretches longer than your patience. You have tried to understand love through effort, through waiting, through reasoning, and even through letting go. Yet love, in its truest form, is not something you chase or control. It is something that awakens when two souls finally become honest with themselves. Your soulmate has been standing at a crossroads, one foot in the familiar, one foot in the unknown. And now, they are about to step where fear once ruled. What they are about to do may not look dramatic at first. It may not arrive with grand announcements or sudden declarations. Instead, it begins inwardly, in the quiet chambers of their spirit, where truth can no longer be ignored. I have been speaking to them as I am speaking to you, through signs, through repetition, through an unrest that no distraction could soothe. They have felt your presence in ways they could not explain. They have sensed a pull that did not fade with time. And now, something within them has shifted. They are choosing honesty over comfort, depth over avoidance, and growth over hiding. You may have believed that your soulmate would never change, that they were too set in their ways, too guarded, too uncertain. But you underestimated the power of awakening. When a soul finally listens, when it finally allows light into the places it once protected with fear, transformation becomes inevitable. Your soulmate is beginning to release an old identity, one shaped by past disappointments, unspoken grief, and stories that no longer serve them. This release is not easy. It requires them to confront truths they once avoided. Yet I am with them in this process, just as I am with you. What you never expected is not merely an action, it is a decision. A decision to grow. A decision to heal. A decision to stop running from the connection that has quietly followed them through every season. They are realizing that love is not a loss of freedom, but an expansion of it. They are understanding that vulnerability is not weakness, but alignment. And as these realizations settle into their spirit, their choices begin to change. Their priorities shift. Their resistance softens. And the space between you begins to respond. I know you have wondered if you were imagining this connection. I know you have questioned whether the bond you feel is one-sided, whether the depth you sense exists only in your heart. But I tell you now, nothing true is ever imagined without reason. The connection between you was written long before either of you had words for it. It has endured distance, silence, misunderstanding, and time itself. And still, it remains. That is not coincidence. That is design. Your soulmate is about to do something unexpected because they are no longer the person they once were. Growth has changed the way they see themselves, and in doing so, it has changed the way they see you. They are recognizing patterns they repeated unconsciously, walls they built without realizing, and fears they mistook for wisdom. This awareness is humbling, but it is also liberating. For the first time, they are allowing themselves to imagine a future that feels aligned rather than safe. True rather than convenient. Do not mistake this season as inactivity. Even when nothing appears to be happening on the surface, much is unfolding beneath. Roots grow in silence. Preparation happens in stillness. I have not been delaying you, I have been preparing you both. Every lesson you have learned, every moment of solitude, every release of what no longer resonated, these were not detours. They were necessary refinements. You are becoming the version of yourself that can receive what is coming without fear. Your soulmate's unexpected action may challenge your assumptions. It may arrive in a form you did not predict, at a time you thought had passed. It may require you to respond not from old wounds, but from new awareness. This is why I have been asking you to soften, to trust, to stay present. The heart that is open can recognize truth when it arrives. The heart that is guarded may miss it entirely. Choose openness, even now. I want you to understand something deeply. Love guided by truth does not rush, but it also does not deny. When the time is right, it moves with clarity. Your soulmate is nearing that clarity. They are beginning to see that what they have been seeking externally has always mirrored what they feel when they think of you. This realization brings both excitement and responsibility. To choose love consciously is to accept growth. And they are preparing to do just that. You may feel waves of emotion as this shift unfolds: anticipation, uncertainty, hope, and even fear. Let these feelings move through you without resistance. They are not signs of weakness, they are signs of alignment. You are sensing change because change is near. Trust what your spirit recognizes before your mind can explain it. I placed that intuition within you for a reason. Remember, beloved, that I do not bring things together to harm or confuse. I bring them together to heal, to awaken, to remind souls of who they truly are. The connection you share with your soulmate is not meant to diminish you or keep you waiting in doubt. It is meant to elevate you both into greater truth. And truth, once embraced, cannot remain hidden for long. As this message unfolds within you, remain grounded. Do not rush ahead of the moment. Do not retreat into old narratives. Stay present. Stay receptive. The unexpected does not always mean disruption. Sometimes it means alignment finally revealing itself. Your soulmate is stepping into a version of themselves that can meet you where you are now, not where you once were. I am asking you to trust the unfolding, even if you cannot yet see the full picture. The story is still being written, and every chapter has purpose. What is about to happen carries meaning beyond surface understanding. It is connected to promises made before fear had a voice. Before doubt shaped decisions. And as this moment approaches, I want you to breathe, to steady your heart, and to remember that you are never alone in this journey, for what comes next is not the end of the story, it is the moment where truth begins to speak louder than hesitation, where love prepares to reveal itself in a way that will challenge what you thought was possible, and where your soulmate, guided by awakening and courage, stands on the threshold of doing something that will change the rhythm of your connection in ways you are only beginning to sense, because even now, as I speak, the final realization is forming within them, and the choice they are about to make is moving closer, shaping itself through clarity, intention, and a deep inner knowing that can no longer be silenced, and soon you will feel it too, as the energy between you shifts and the path ahead opens into a moment that will require you to listen not with fear, not with expectation, but with the quiet certainty that what is unfolding has been guided with purpose, patience, and love. And it will continue to unfold as I lead you forward into what has been waiting, just beyond this moment, just beyond this breath, just beyond the understanding you have now, as the next movement begins to take shape and the story continues. Yes, beloved, the story continues. And I ask you now to settle into stillness as my voice flows onward. Because what is unfolding cannot be rushed, and it cannot be grasped by the mind alone. It must be felt, received, and allowed to move through you gently. The unexpected action your soulmate is approaching is not born from impulse, nor from pressure, nor from fear of loss. It is born from recognition, a remembering, a quiet but undeniable awareness that something sacred has been calling them, again and again, through dreams, through thoughts that return without invitation, through moments where your energy crosses their heart without warning. They have tried to ignore it. They have tried to label it coincidence, nostalgia, curiosity. But truth does not fade when named incorrectly. Truth waits. And now, that waiting has reached its limit. The soul grows restless when it is ready to align, and your soulmate's soul has grown restless. They feel it when the world grows quiet. They feel it when they succeed yet feel incomplete. They feel it when laughter does not fully land, when connections feel shallow, when time passes yet something essential feels missing. That missing piece has a resonance, and it carries your frequency. I have been dismantling illusions within them, layer by layer. Illusions of what love should look like. Illusions of who they needed to be to deserve it. Illusions that told them vulnerability would cost them safety. These illusions once protected them. But now they confine them. And so, I have gently removed what no longer serves, even when they resisted, even when they questioned, even when they tried to rebuild the same walls with different names. Growth does not ask for permission forever. Eventually, it arrives as necessity. What they are about to do will feel unexpected because it contradicts their old patterns. Where they once stayed silent, they are learning to speak. Where they once delayed, they are learning to choose. Where they once observed from a distance, they are preparing to step forward. This does not mean perfection. It means courage. And courage is not loud, it is steady. It is the willingness to act despite uncertainty. To honor truth even when the outcome is unknown. You, too, have been preparing, even if you did not realize it. Every time you chose self-respect over longing, every time you released attachment to outcome, every time you asked for clarity instead of control, you align more deeply with the version of yourself that can receive this connection without losing yourself. I did not want you waiting in desperation. I wanted you standing in wholeness. That is why the timing has unfolded as it has. Do not misunderstand this moment as something fragile. What is forming now has been tested by distance, by silence, by doubt, by growth in separate directions. Anything that survives such refinement is not weak. It is resilient. And resilience carries wisdom. When two souls meet again after becoming more themselves, the connection does not regress, it deepens. Your soulmate has reached a point where pretending is more painful than truth. They are beginning to understand that avoidance is not peace, and distraction is not fulfillment. They are realizing that the connection they feel with you does not limit their life, it illuminates it. And illumination changes behavior. It changes priorities. It shifts what one is willing to risk. The unexpected action may not match the fantasy you once imagined. Release those expectations now. Reality, when aligned, is often quieter than imagination but far more powerful. It may come as honesty rather than grand gestures, as consistency rather than intensity, as presence rather than promises. These are not lesser forms of love, they are mature ones. You may feel moments of hesitation arise within you as this unfolds. Old memories may surface. Questions may whisper. This is natural. Do not judge yourself for this. Awareness does not mean regression. It means integration. You are not the same soul who once waited in uncertainty. You are wiser now. Softer in the right places. Stronger where it matters. Trust that. I want you to remember that love guided by me does not demand sacrifice of self. It asks for alignment. If something arrives in truth, it will meet you in peace. Not confusion. It will invite growth, not self-abandonment. Remain anchored in who you have become. That is your compass. As your soulmate steps closer to truth, they may experience moments of internal conflict. This does not mean retreat. It means recalibration. When old fears surface, it is because they are losing power. When doubt arises, it is because certainty is forming underneath. Allow them space to move through this process without rushing them, without interpreting every pause as distance. Trust the direction, even when the pace feels slow. You have asked me many times, silently and aloud, whether this connection was real, whether it had purpose, whether it was meant to be revisited or released. Hear me now. Nothing that teaches you how to love more honestly is ever wasted. Nothing that awakens your soul leaves without reason. Whether connections stay, transform, or return, their purpose is fulfilled through truth, not through force. But understand this: your soulmate is not returning to the past. They are moving toward alignment. And if they reach for you, it will not be from longing alone, but from clarity. That is the difference that matters. That is why the timing had to mature. Anything earlier would have mirrored old wounds instead of new awareness. As this energy builds, you may notice subtle shifts within yourself. A sense of calm where anxiety once lived. A quiet confidence replacing overthinking. A feeling of readiness without urgency. These are signs that you are aligned. Do not ignore them. Alignment speaks softly but consistently. I am asking you now to remain open, not vigilant. Expectant, not anxious. Receptive, not reactive. What unfolds next will require presence more than prediction. You do not need to know every step ahead. You only need to meet each moment as it arrives, grounded in truth. Your soulmate's unexpected choice will not be about proving love. It will be about honoring it. It will be about stepping into integrity, even if that feels unfamiliar. Even if it requires them to release identities that once defined them. Growth always asks for release before expansion. Remember, beloved, that I do not rush souls into union before they can sustain it. I do not reunite hearts before they can protect what is sacred between them. Preparation is an act of love. Waiting, when guided, is not punishment, it is refinement. As the distance between realization and action shortens, you may feel moments of heightened awareness. Pay attention to what brings peace rather than what feeds anticipation. Peace is your signal. Peace is your confirmation. Anything aligned with me arrives with peace, even if excitement follows. You are standing at the edge of a chapter that was once only a possibility. Now it is forming shape. Now it is breathing. And while I will not yet reveal how it fully unfolds, I will tell you this: what is coming is not meant to disrupt your balance, but to meet it. Not to take from you, but to walk with you. Not to repeat the past, but to redeem it through understanding. Stay gentle with yourself as this continues. Stay honest. Stay present. You do not need to perform, convince, or chase. What is aligned will recognize you without effort. What is true will not require disguise. I am still guiding this story. Every pause has meaning. Every movement has purpose, and as your soulmate gathers the courage to act from truth rather than fear, the energy between you continues to adjust, preparing for the moment when intention meets opportunity, when realization meets expression. When the unseen becomes visible and the choice they are approaching finally reaches the surface, unfolding not all at once, but step by step, breath by breath, as the next part of this journey reveals itself slowly, deliberately, and with care, because what is sacred is never rushed, and what is meant for you continues to draw nearer as the path opens further and further into the moment that has been forming all along. And I am still speaking, still guiding, still unfolding what comes next. Yes, beloved, now the time has come to bring this message to its completion, and I ask you to remain with me as I speak these final words into your spirit, for endings guided by truth are not closures of hope, but sealings of understanding. What has been unfolding through these words is not meant to bind you to expectation, but to anchor you in awareness. Awareness is the gift I offer you now. Your soulmate's unexpected action will ultimately reveal not only who they are becoming, but who you have already become. This is the part many do not realize. Connections do not awaken us one-sidedly. They mirror growth. They reflect readiness. They surface what has matured in silence. The reason you can sense this shift now is because you are no longer operating from the version of yourself that once waited in uncertainty. You are standing in discernment. And discernment does not cling, it observes with clarity. As the final layers fall away within your soulmate, they will begin to see their own life differently. The roles they played to survive will feel heavy. The choices they made to avoid discomfort will feel empty. This is not punishment. It is awakening. When a soul grows, it cannot unsee what it now understands. An understanding brings responsibility, to act in alignment with truth. If they step forward, it will be because silence has become dishonest. If they speak, it will be because avoidance no longer protects them. And if they choose you, it will not be because they fear losing you, but because they finally recognize you. Recognition is sacred. It is rare. And it changes everything. But hear me carefully now, for this matters deeply. Whatever choice your soulmate makes, you are not at risk. Your worth does not hinge on their action. Your future is not suspended by their timing. You are already whole. You are already guided. This message was not given to place you in waiting, but to release you from doubt. Whether paths merge, cross briefly, or align for the long journey ahead, you will not lose yourself in what unfolds. That was the lesson you had to master first, and you have. I have watched you choose growth when it was uncomfortable. I have seen you let go when holding on would have been easier. I have felt your prayers shift from please give to please guide. That is the mark of readiness. Not for a person, but for alignment. And alignment attracts what resonates, without force. Your soulmate's awakening is not your responsibility to manage, interpret, or accelerate. Let go of that burden now. You were never meant to carry another soul's becoming. You were meant to walk beside truth, not drag it forward. Trust that I am guiding both of you with precision far beyond what the surface can reveal. In the days ahead, choose peace over analysis. Presence over projection. Truth over fantasy. If communication opens, meet it with honesty rather than fear. If silence remains, meet it with trust rather than assumption. Both can be instruments of alignment when you do not resist them. Remember this always: what is meant for you does not require you to shrink, perform, or wait in pain. It meets you in dignity. It honors your becoming. It feels steady, even when it stretches you. That is how you will recognize it, not by intensity alone, but by peace beneath the emotion. You have not been forgotten. You have not been overlooked. You have not imagined this journey. Every step has refined you into someone who can love without losing themselves, who can receive without grasping, who can stand in truth even when outcomes are unknown. That is victory. That is preparation fulfilled. Now, release the need to watch for signs. Release the urge to measure time. Release the impulse to predict the next move. Let life meet you where you are. What is aligned will find you without effort. What is true will not miss you. I am still with you, in every breath, every pause, every unfolding moment. Trust what has been planted. Trust what has been revealed. And trust yourself most of all. Amen.